Hey Jasmine, it's Tuesday. So I had the most fantastic weekend. Friday morning, we had to run around doing a few last minute things for Christina, but we got to the convention, and as soon as we went into registration, Christina was dressed up as Jenny, and Jared was like, "Oh my god, it's a Jenny, it's a Jenny, it's a Jenny!" So he was like freaking out, and these other guys came in and they were like, "Oh my god, girls, they're real!" So that was a pretty interesting start to the morning. But we got to see Gareth speak, which was pretty fun. He's hysterical. He was completely hungover, but we still love him for it. I mean, like, everyone was getting drunk the whole time, so we watched that. We saw the opening ceremonies. We did a few other little things. I can't remember exactly some of the panels we went to. We saw Gareth 3 times over the weekend. We went to all of his panels, and they were all great. I absolutely love him. He's so funny. And at the opening ceremonies, all the guests were running down the aisle, and he comes lumbering down. And he's like, "I'm not bloody running in flip-flops." So that was pretty hysterical. We watched the Doctor Who New York Just a Minute game, which was the funniest thing I have ever seen. They were being so bad Friday night. Tony was just too entertained with the little dogs that they had to use as their buzzers. And of course we were sharing the hotel with a dog grooming convention. So the whole time we were just cracking on them because they would come up and be like, "Oh, are you guys with the dog grooming?" And we're like, "We're dressed up in really weird costumes. Do we look like dog groomers?" So that was interesting. And then the pool party was that night, which I'll throw a clip in at the end. Tony, one of the guests, who's a comic writer, they had an inflatable Dalek in the pool, and they were just mauling the poor thing. By the end, like, the one arm was all, like, limp, and the eye stalk was, like, hanging. So I have a video of Tony jumping into the pool onto it and missing, which was really entertaining. Saturday, me and Christina went as Jack and Yanto, which was hilarious, and Jared was excited that we weren't dressed up as 10. And Saturday, I was also outed as a YouTuber. So if anybody from the Hurricane Who event is watching this now, hi, I was Yanto. That was pretty amusing. He asked me Friday night if I had a project, and I was like, yeah. So at the Midnight Masquerade Saturday night, we were being pointed out for not joining the cosplay competition, even though we were, in fact, dressed up. And, of course, Christina had to explain what we were dressed up as. I was Yanto, thoroughly shagged. I had the unit cap on and everything, and I was all, like, rumpled looking. And she was Pregnant Jack. And then he's like, yeah, our Yanto is a YouTube vlogger. So, if anybody was at the convention, good fun. So, I can't remember some of the panels we went to on Saturday, but they played the Just a Minute again. We saw the Doctor Who, or Moz ate my Doctor Who scarf, which was just fantastic. Toby is hilarious, and I absolutely loved his show, and I really hope he is coming back next year, because I would really love to see him again. And I don't even have my schedule to, like, say what we saw. So then Sunday we had, this hysterical, Saturday we had a Captain Jack panel, which, wow, that could have lasted for hours. Like, literally, there was so much that we just could have talked about. And then Sunday, we had a Farewell to David Tennant panel. We saw Gareth again. We saw Louise Jameson, who was a companion back during the 4th Doctor era. And then we had, we watched Day 4 of Torchwood with Gareth talking, and they tried to keep the crying at a minimum, but it definitely didn't work because the scene that makes everybody cry, Gareth went silent and was watching it, so all you could hear was this one girl sobbing hysterically, and I cried again. I can't not cry watching that episode. So that was fun. Then we had the closing ceremonies, and it was so amazing, and I can't wait until next year. But it was hilarious. I was mistaken as a hotel worker quite a few times on Saturday, so apparently I must have made a really good male, because I don't know, people thought I was a dude. But it was pretty funny. So I'm going to throw a few clips in at the end of Tony, and probably playing with the little dogs and some other stuff, I don't know. And I'll have more on my actual channel or on Facebook. And this is really long, so Jasmine, I'll see you tomorrow.
So in a moment of our typical stupidity, Christina looks down and realizes that she's wearing my badge instead of her badge, and I had hers on.
It's hard to believe it. Loads of possibilities were coming up, involving timing various activities. Who could go the longest at certain other activities without stopping, without finishing. Do you need any more stuff words? Or